Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's Sensei Pink and I'm coming back to you guys for my review on Lord Olympus episode 119. Before we get into it guys, make sure that you go follow me on both Instagram and Twitter and hit that subscribe and notification button to see more weekly videos. So in this week's episode, we kick it off with a bit of a flashback from Hera. In this flashback, our golden girl is recounting how she was created, how she was once blessed with purpose, and how presently she's not sure what she's supposed to be. She continues on by saying how she misses the earth, how she misses her sisters, and most of all, how she misses her mother, and how she traded everything to be Zeus's golden trader, a fraction of what she used to be, and torn apart to be a goddess of marriage. Now, in the present day and standing in the mirror, just like getting dressed, Hera is approached by Zeus, who begins to ask her if she can use one of her little visions to find his missing sock, but she gives him a vision and a vision of the middle finger. Now cutting from Hera, we are brought to Artemis's home where her and Eros are debating whether they should call Hera for help. After some more convincing to call Hera from Eros, Artemis then tries to get Eros to call Hera since that's his grandmother, but he just straight up tells her that, Artemis, I don't have to help you. I could be doing like 10 other million things, but I'm here helping you, so you need to call her. Now, with Artemis down to take the initiative reluctantly, they both call Hera and tell her that they need some help. Although initially declining, Hera then immediately changes her mind when they tell her that it's about Persephone and ask her not to tell Zeus, and we then get the scene from last episode where we overhear her, on the phone calling him an arrogant buffoon. The next day, Hera is now at Artemis's home and can't believe that she agreed to help them. Now, although Hera has agreed to help them, she decides that she's going to do it on one condition, and that condition being that if Percy is still missing in a few days, they will have to tell Demeter since she doesn't like deceiving her friend slash sister in that way. Now, getting the show on the road, we then end off this episode with Hera transforming to look like Percy. Now, last week, I thought that Percy was going to be the one who was on the phone with Hera, but I guess this outcome makes more sense. I mean, Demeter did say that she was going to come back, so I guess her posing as Percy will definitely help them buy some time and try and find Percy. But aside from Percy, I want to talk about Hera for a little bit. I feel like Hera sees a little bit of herself in Percy, and it's why we get to see like her past and some of her feelings on, Zeus and, feeling like she abandoned her family and what she misses this episode. Linking this episode, to how we saw Hera in the very beginning when she's introduced and how upset she was over the fact that, she thought that Hades took advantage of her and how she was speaking about her. It really says a lot, because we get how she feels like she traded everything to be a fraction of what she used to be, Zeus's golden trader, and we understand a little bit of why she's so protective in a sense over Percy, because number one, she doesn't want Percy, in the same fate as her, to maybe be married off to just some king so that he can do whatever he wants and leave her miserable and unhappy. And number two, why she is trying to push Percy towards the right direction, aka being with Hades now, although initially she wasn't with it, but why she's trying to push Percy in the right direction, because she doesn't want her to fall into the wrong hands of being married to some dirtbag king, even though there's only 3 kings, but some dirtbag king or some dirtbag god like Apollo or some other one we don't really know about. Now, getting out of these thoughts, let me get into my prediction for episode 120. My prediction for next episode is that while Hera is out posing as Percy with Demeter, 2 things are going to happen. The first is that Hera is maybe going to find out about the Bringer of Death situation. The second is that while Hera and Demeter are out, they both are going to come across the old tabloid of Percy on the cover leaving Hades' house, and in that instant, Demeter is going to be furious and try and force her home. I feel like as Hera, disguised as Percy, is going to be trying to basically get away from her mother, Demeter is gonna end up trying to use her powers, and eventually, Hera's disguise is just gonna wear off and end. And right in that moment, Demeter's gonna be You know, what the fuck is this, Hera? Why are you disguised as my child? And where the hell is my child if she's not here? You know, where the hell is she? Well, that's it for today, guys. Let me know, what do you guys think is gonna happen in the comments below for episode 120. Go follow me on both Instagram and Twitter and smash that like button if you enjoyed watching. And finally, guys, hit that subscribe and notification button if you want to see more of me, Sensei Pink.